What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Natitude News, the podcast. Man, let's just get into what happened last night. I think it was around 11:30 ish that I found out the Nats traded Curtis Mead for Connelly Early. Curtis Mead is going to the Red Sox. Connelly Early is coming on over to the Nats and gonna help our pitching out, man. Um, I was planning to write something today, but boy, I thought I had to get on here and um, kind of talk about what I think and what's really going on. Is this good for the Nats? Did we get fleeced? Did we fleece? I believe that we kind of ended up with a great a, great deal there. I'm excited about this transaction. But first, let me we always it seems like for the past like 6 years, we're always trading away guys, and it's like, all right, yeah, I knew they were going to be traded. I didn't think Curtis Mead was going to get traded, to be honest with you. But for Connelly Early, who was in talks, like C.J. Abrams was going to get traded. I mean, maybe he still is, but we'll get into that later. I mean, Connelly Early was getting talked about in those trades. The fact that we got Connelly Early for Curtis Mead, who really, us Nats fans really weren't expecting to really do good. We weren't really expecting him to be like he actually was. In 284 at bats this year, he's batting 254. Don't look at the average: 17 homers, 48 RBIs, and an 852 OPS, which is like pretty good for somebody that we traded from. I believe it was the White Sox. He got let go by the Rays, and then he went to the White Sox, and we picked him up. We traded a prospect for him, I think. And yeah, man, I mean, I was ecstatic about this. Like I said, Curtis Mead, brother, you are so good for us. I appreciate everything you did. Um, again, coming in to the season, I wasn't expecting you to do anything. I knew you before, just because you were Australian, but you are a fantastic player. I'm glad. I mean, he's a huge reason why we're still hanging on in the wild card race is because of him. The days that CJ and James weren't playing well, it was Curtis Mead. It was guys like him who were picking up the pace and keeping the offense afloat, while our two stars were kind of struggling sometimes maybe. Um, but yeah, I mean, Curtis Mead, appreciate it. But we have, folks, a new starting pitcher in this rotation, Connelly Early, coming over to the Nats. I believe he is injured right now. I was actually at the game that he got injured. It was against the Nats. That was the Kate Cavalli fight game, I believe. Because what I remember, a funny story about that is not that injuries are funny, but I was looking down at my phone, and one of my friends was texting me, "Oh, dude, Connelly Early just got injured. They're gonna pull him." Because he was dicing us up that game. People forget it was 1-0 Red Sox when Cavalli got in the fight and everything, or was it 1-1? I forget, but it was. I mean, he was dicing us up. I think it was 1-0 Red Sox when Cavalli got in the fight, and I was looking down at my phone, texting my friend who was watching the game because I'm from the Boston area. All my friends are Red Sox fans, so they were all like, "Oh, dude, Connelly Early just got injured." And I look up. Me and my dad were just talking about how, we know Contreras is kind of like a hothead, and my dad goes, "Oh, dude, watch out!" And that's when the fight happened. So that's how I know Connelly Early is injured. I believe it was elbow soreness, and I think I was just reading up last night because I was really interested to see. No, like big, like actual, like huge damage in his elbow. Just some soreness. I think he's throwing already, so he should be back by August, which is huge for us. Um, for somebody like who's starting today, Miles Michaelis. Hopefully, Connelly Early can get going, and we can get rid of at least one of the two guys that are not us Nats fans' favorite pitchers, Zach Littell and Miles Michaelis. So we will see about that. I think he does take over. And what I think this does for the Nats is I was kind of talking to some people last night, and I was like, who kind of are Nats fans, and I was kind of like, do you think this gets CJ off the trade block? Because he was gonna go for Connelly early, and a couple of prospects. So he's definitely not probably not going to the Red Sox. The Red Sox got their middle infielder, which was Curtis Mead, who can play second base. So I don't know where CJ if CJ is still going to go. I think this move proves that Paul Taboni is in it, and we're going for it. I mean, he's trading for pieces that are huge for us, not only this year but in the future. So I don't know if CJ's still up on the block. I don't think he will be. I hope he won't be. Um, but nevertheless, not to get Connelly early. I'm psyched about. I'm psyched. All my friends are texting me like, "Is this dude Curtis Mead good?" And I'm like, he actually is very good this year. I think he's overperforming a lot. I mean, obviously compared to where he was with the White Sox and Rays, where he got DFA'd by the Rays, I believe, then he got traded from the White Sox, and he wasn't really gonna blossom, and he found a home in DC, and well, not a home anymore. He's gone, but I think the Nats absolutely won this trade. Like I said, I love Curtis Mead. He brought so much energy to this ball club. You heard it in the booth with Dan. See you later, mate. When he hit a home run, he brought so much energy, culture. Yeah, and he was such a good player for us, man. He had some big moments like the Royals game when it was tied, and he had a huge 3-run homer in the seventh or the eighth, and that helped us win the series against them. Yeah, man, he was so good for us. But I think the return is so worth it because now it was announced last night that Brady House is going to come back up from AAA, who has very 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 formidable MLB experience. Obviously, he played most of the season this year. He just got sent down in late May, I believe it was, early June, I think maybe. And yeah, and you also have Yo Morales, who's still in the minors, who you could call up either at first or third, depending on what you want to do with Louis. Again, Louis is another thing where I don't know I don't know if Louis. It depends. Louis could be used like a Curtis Mead, but you'd want a lot more from the Louis trade if you do trade Louis than Curtis Mead. I don't know if we can get Connelly early for Curtis Mead. I don't know who we can get for Louis because man, that we need somebody big for Louis if we're gonna do it. I personally am kind of on the fence about the whole Louis thing. I don't know if he should trade him or not. Who knows? We will see. It's only July 26th, so there's a lot of time left before August 3rd. Things are going to happen. I mean, this was the first trade. Maybe you can call it the Lance McCullers trade, the first thing, about a week ago. But he's already got DFA'd by the Brewers today. Actually, it was announced. So this is probably the first trade of the deadline for the MLB. This is like the first big trade. So there's a lot of time left. A lot of decisions Paul Taboni has to make. I trust him from this so far. He's gained a lot of my trust from this deal because I mean this was a 1-for-1. You don't see this anymore. I actually do think both teams did win the trade. Well, I know I said earlier that we won the trade, but this is beneficial for both teams. You know, because I'm in the Boston area right now, so I watch a lot of the Red Sox too, and I know they have a big hole at second base. They didn't need a third baseman. They didn't need a first baseman, but Curtis Mead can play second, and that helps their team a lot. He's going to do really well in Fenway as a righty. Going off the Green Monster, he's going to hit a lot in the gap. He's going to hit a lot off the Monster. He's going to get a lot of doubles at Fenway. But yeah, this is beneficial for both teams so far this year. Connelly early, 17 games, 3.4 ERA, 93 strikeouts, 1.2 WHIP, 91 innings. Yeah, so you know that's literally what Kay Cavalli's pretty much ERA is. So everybody's like, oh, it's a high ERA. That's what Kay Cavalli has. Yeah, I'm psyched. I mean, this is huge. So let's kind of think, right? So Kay Cavalli, Michaelis is going to be gone, hopefully, down the stretch. Then there comes the third man. And I'm going off the opening day to the All-Star break. I don't know what I kind of forget. I kind of figure out what the new rotation is. I think it's Cavalli, Littell, Griffin, somebody like that. I don't know what that is, but I'm going from the opening day to All-Star break rotation. So Cavalli's staying, obviously. We would never trade him. Excuse me. Michaelis is hopefully going to be gone. Hopefully Early replaces him. And then it comes to Foster Griffin. I think everybody knows what's going to happen with him. He will most likely be traded, which sucks because he had a great game yesterday against the Diamondbacks, which we will talk about. I will talk about the Diamondbacks series in a second. Yeah, Foster Griffin's probably getting traded, which sucks because he's been our anchor of the whole rotation, man. Every game it's like, okay, Foster Griffin's pitching. We have a chance. We have a really good chance to win. If the offense gets us like 4 runs, there's a great chance to win. And he's probably getting traded, but there's going to be some good haul. Whether it's going to be a good haul, whether it be prospects, whether it be like a Connelly Early type. We don't really know. Again, it's what if we don't trade him? Who knows if we don't trade him? Then who knows? But like I said yesterday, contract talks have already fizzled out. He's going to leave either in a week or at the end of the season. Either way, he's going to get paid the big bucks, which the Nats are not going to pay. So yeah, that's it with Foster Griffin, and then Jake Irvin will be back soon, thank God. Move Andrew Alvarez back to the bullpen, hopefully, so he can be like a long man instead of going out there and only giving us kind of like 4 or 5 innings a game. I loved him as a long reliever, and then he Jake Irvin got injured. He moved to the bullpen. He moved to to starter. I like him as a long man, kind of like the Brad Lord type, but a little longer than Brad Lord. So there's a lot of options, and then Zach Littell coming up the rear. I don't know what we're going to do with him. He needs to go bad if we're going to actually compete. So I'm really optimistic about this rotation. I don't know. He's probably going to fill in Griffin's spot Connelly Early. But you never know. You never know. Sorry about the text notification, everybody. So now we're going to kind of talk. I'm going to briefly cover this real quick, just because, I mean, hey, the Nats are back. After last game, I mean, last game was a talk about a must-win game for the Nats. That moved us right back into 2 games back from the wild card. Miami lost last night. We move up in the NL East to 3rd. Not like that matters because, well, to be honest with you, the NL East probably doesn't even matter anymore. It's probably going to end up like it is unless, us and the Marlins switch. That's probably like the only room for change is us and the Marlins right there. The Braves are probably going to stay in 1st. The Phillies are probably going to stay in 2nd. It depends, though, because the Phillies are only 5 games back. It's something drastic happens with the Braves. Who knows? So now we look to the wild card. Pittsburgh lost last night. Big to the Cubs. Thank you, Chicago. We're not worried about the Cubs winning because we're not going to catch them in the wild card race. They are the front runners in the wild card. Same with the Phillies. So it's really the Diamondbacks that we really... It's just going to be... It's going to be a fight for the 3rd spot at this point. So, again, the teams... Arizona's still up. St. Louis won last night, unfortunately. That would have been big for us if they lost, but they did not. Pittsburgh lost, which is great. Nats, Padres, Marlins. So that's it, probably. And I keep saying the Reds. I mean, talk about a thread. They're hanging on by a friggin' toenail right now. And then the rest of the 3: Giants, Mets, and Rockies. So Nats move up to 2 games back of the wild card, still very much in reach, and I think Paul Taboni knows that, and hey, let's go buy and sell. And I was asking, I was kind of wondering what that meant yesterday. This is what it means. We sold Curtis Mead, who is playing exceptional for us, but we're also buying. We're buying. We're buying Connelly Early, who's a friggin' awesome stud pitcher. So I guess that's what buying and selling means, apparently. I was confused on that the other day. But yesterday, great start from Foster Griffin. He did give up 3 earned runs, I believe. It is what it is. I mean, 3 earned runs should still win you the game, and it did with this offense. 5-3 win. Started down 2-0. I'm like, oh shoot, this could be the end. C.J. Abrams had a big double. Dalen Lyle had a big triple. They give us a 4-2 lead. C.J. homered again. And And then the seventh, Foster got into a bit of trouble. I mean, he was at 105 pitches, something like that. Eddie Jean, I'm so excited about him, man. He's such a stud in the bullpen, bro. He's awesome to have, especially when we have guys like our trustworthy guys out. So this is my plan for the bullpen. I hope, right? Eddie Jean, who I hope they keep up, please. He's literally a stud. He has a 0 ERA through, or he's given up no runs in his career so far. Knock on wood, But Clayton Beeter is like always so like I'm so skeptical with Clayton Beeter, bro. I don't know what to like. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Clayton Beeter, but I guess he's our closer. We just need two more guys. Once PJ Poulin comes back up, sure. Once Brad Lohr comes back, we'll see. Like Lovelady's still out with an injury. All these guys are out. So, I mean, the bullpen needs another couple arms with it, and that's hopefully what we do. If we do trade Louis, gotta go for the bullpen. Gotta attack the bullpen, man. That needs to happen. But yeah, Nats win. Big game today to win the series in about an hour as I'm filming this. Kind of look around the league. No other teams are playing yet, except for the Sunday Peacock game, Guardians and Rays, which doesn't concern us. That game doesn't matter to us at all. So that's kind of my thoughts on the trade. I think for the Nats, very, very, very good trade. I'm really happy with it. And unfortunately, Curtis Meade had to leave, but, he overperformed for us, and he gave us Connelly early. So Curtis Meade will forever be a Nats legend for what he did on the field and what hopefully he does, for the trade. Hopefully Connelly early turns out good. I believe he's under club control till 2031. We'll see what we do with that. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Curtis Meade Connelly early trade. I'm really excited about this next chapter with Connelly early. Hopefully he's locked down for us. And as us Nats fans know, we need it. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Go Nats, man. Big game against the D-backs today. Have a good one.